The Browns land the best small college quarterback in this draft class in Kyle Lauletta out of Richmond. He's the most accurate quarterback in my opinion and has played in big time games and played big time in those games like the upset versus Virginia and down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. Giants go quarterback with Catawba's Patrick O'Brien. The 6'3", 230-pound signal caller can attack the field at all levels and is coming off a stellar career at both Catawba and UNC Pembroke. Three for three with quarterbacks in the small college mock. The Jets land the 2017 Harlan Hill Trophy winner, which is the Division II equivalent of the Heisman Trophy, and Luis Perez of Texas A&M Commerce. Now, Perez led his Lions to the Division II National Championship as well this season and still has a ton of upside in his game. Well, looky at that. The Browns land the top QB and the top running back in this mock with Fordham's Chase Edmunds. Edmunds has good all-around game and is more than capable of handling feature back carries as a pro. The Broncos look to strengthen their offensive line with Brandon Parker out of North Carolina A&T. He's a 6'7" tackle that has great athleticism and also shows the above-average ability to anchor and redirect defenders. He was strong all week long at the Senior Bowl. The Colts bolster their pass rush with Ebo Ogundeko out of Tennessee State. Now, Ogundeko can play with his hand in the dirt or off the ground. He has a solid first step and plays with great length on both ends of defense. In the secondary is where the Bucs go here with Terron Neal of Jacksonville State. I love the way he plays the position. He's aggressive at the line of scrimmage and can play outside, inside, or even serve as a slot safety or overhang defender. Neal also has the ability to match up one-on-one with bigger wide receivers. I'm a big fan of linebacker Brett Taylor's game. The Western Illinois Leatherneck is the best backer in program history and excels in the passing game as well as against the run. I think he would fit perfectly inside with Chicago. The 49ers continue to add talent to the secondary with Malik Reeves of Villanova. Reeves has great quicks and ball skills, and his quicks allow him to play off in the slot or out on the boundary. Staying in the Bay and in the secondary, the Raiders snatch up Danny Johnson of Southern, who's one of the best playmakers in the FCS. He scored touchdowns as a corner, punt returner, kickoff returner, receiver, and rusher during his career with the Jaguars, and he's also not afraid to mix it up at the line of scrimmage as well. The Dolphins need help at safety, and Godfrey Onyeka of Wilfrid Lauraleigh is what you would classify as a slot safety or defensive halfback. He has the ability to match up at corner or play out in space as an overhang defender. I like his ball skills and his ability to get from sideline to sideline. He's the #1 defensive prospect, in my opinion, in the 2018 CFL draft and could find himself on an NFL roster before it's all said and done. The Bills get their quarterback in Devante Kincade out of Grambling. Now, his name has been extremely quiet during this draft cycle, but Kincade can flat out ball. He's coming off of a stellar career with the Tigers, leading them to a Black College National Championship in 2016 and nearly leading them to one again this past season. The Redskins need help in the secondary, and Tremont Smith of Central Arkansas gives them a corner that has both the ball skills and the return skills to impact the game in a multitude of ways. Michael Joseph of Dubuque is a top Division III prospect this year, and I think he's best suited inside as a slot corner. He's a long, athletic defender that has really good read and recognition skills, which allows him to close passing windows and make quarterbacks pay for errant passes. Larry Fitzgerald can't play forever, so the Cardinals start to restock the receiving corps with wide receiver Justin Watson of Penn. He's a 6'2", 215-pound receiver that's capable of playing all three spots. He has the hands to win the contested catch and the speed to take it the distance once the ball is in those said hands. Baltimore gets help for Joe Flacco with tight end Dallas Goddard of South Dakota State. Goddard has Travis Kelce-like ability and would be a big-time addition to the Ravens' anemic passing attack. The Chargers go defense with defensive tackle Nathan Shepard out of Fort Hays State. The Canadian prospect is still growing into his game and has a ton of upside left in his game and would immediately strengthen the Chargers' front line. The Seahawks need a threat at the running back position, and they get one here in Delance Turner of Alcorn State. The 6'1", 214-pound back is a slasher that has very good run power and the ability to threaten as a receiver out of the backfield. He's going to be the guy that gets stronger and better as the game rolls on. Doris Fountain gives the Cowboys help on the outside of Dez Bryant. He's coming off of an excellent career at Northern Iowa and a stellar week of work at the East-West Shrine game. Now, Fountain can play inside or out, and it has above-average athleticism to succeed as a pro. Helping the Lions along the defensive line with the selection of P.J. Hall of Sam Houston State. Hall was one of the nation's leaders in block kicks, in addition to being a 4-time FCS All-American. Now, he has the consistency and playmaking ability to thrive at the next level. The Bengals go defensive line as well with Bilal Nichols of Delaware. Now, Nichols has the versatility to play anywhere along the line of scrimmage. I think that type of versatility will be welcomed with open arms in the Queen City. Buffalo is back on the board with their second first-round pick, and this time they get help for quarterback Devante Kincade with Sam Boyd of St. Augustine's. Now, Boyd is a wide receiver tight end hybrid. He's 6'4", 245, and can play anywhere within the offense. He's also money inside the green zone, which is music to the ears of any quarterback throwing him the football. The Rams go linebacker with Pat Afriye out of Colgate. He can rush the passer and play the run equally as effective. He's growing as a player that can drop in coverage, but as far as affecting the game goes, he has that part down to a science and should be an excellent pro. The Panthers get help for Cam Newton with wide receiver Andre Price. Price is an outside receiver that gets clean releases on a consistent basis and shows above average ability in tracking the football. Now, adding him on the outside along with Devin Funchess should make things easier on the inside for Curtis Samuel. The Titans add to the linebacking core with Darius Leonard of South Carolina State. I'm a big fan of his consistency as well. Down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, you saw how valuable he is in coverage, which means he's a 3-down player that doesn't have to lead the field. Atlanta bolsters their defensive front with the versatile Abdullah Anderson out of Bucknell. Only 1 year of high school football before becoming a 4-time Patriot League performer and 2-time All-American. He's another player that's very similar to Bilal Nichols in the fact that he can play anywhere along the front line. The University of San Diego has produced a rookie All-Pro already with Jamal Agnew's sensational rookie season last year with the Lions, and he could have two if tight end Ross Dwelley lands in New Orleans. Now, Dwelley is a great route runner and is one of the more fluid athletes at the position. This fit almost makes too much sense for it to happen, but Dwelley can ball no matter where he ends up as a pro. The Steelers get busy being the Steelers and strengthening an already bully-style defense with Jacksonville State's Darius Jackson. I like how aggressive he plays at the point of attack. Don't let the size fool you. He can hold the edge versus the run and shows plenty of ways to get to the quarterback. Jacksonville adds another talented offensive lineman in Trent Scott of Grambling. I've seen him dominate a game and show the athleticism that leads you to believe that he can serve as a guard or tackle at the next level. I think he would give the Jags two excellent bookends at offensive tackle. Minnesota gets defensive with defensive lineman John Franklin of Stephen F. Austin. His ball get off is tremendous, and his ability to use his hands well will always keep him camped out in the opposing backfield. I'm a big fan of his game. The Patriots add the best ball hawk in the draft in free safety Carlo Thomas of Johnson C. Smith. The 6'2", 185-pound defensive back finished his Golden Bulls career with 22 interceptions, 20 pass breakups, and 4 pick sixes. That's the type of playmaker that can eliminate mistakes in coverage and make an offense pay for throwing bad passes. With the last pick in the first round, the Eagles get explosive in the backfield with Trenton Cannon of Virginia State. He's cut from the same cloth as current Eagles running back Wendell Smallwood. He's as fast as his last name indicates, and once he gets lane, it's over. He's gone. Get the extra point team out there and get ready to kick the extra point. He's also valuable as a receiver and a kickoff and punt returner. Since the Chiefs and Texans don't have first-round picks, I kind of wanted to include them in this mock draft. For KC, it's about adding depth along the offensive line, and Alex Thompson of Monmouth is a tremendous prospect that can play either guard or center and has the athleticism to get out and around on run plays. I went to the offensive side of the ball to get more weapons for the Texans franchise quarterback Deshaun Watson. Tight end Damon Gibson is an intriguing talent. He was technically a wide receiver in the Dragons offense at MSU Moorhead, but he's more of a flex tight end that'll thrive in the Texans offense. His receiving skills were on display at the East-West Shrine game this past January, and I think he's an ideal fit for today's NFL. Be sure to check out the Scout Team podcast on iTunes, where you can find all of our NFL draft prospect interviews, and also check out Talking with TD with Teron Davenport, who talks with other NFL draft prospects as well for this upcoming draft class.